Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Fresh and our Orc Hunter. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. Today we begin with some leatherworking in Thunderbluff. We'll be crafting a couple of significant upgrades for our shoulder and glove slots. A road trip through parts of Kalimdor will follow our profession work from there, as we look to advance our secondary skills to the level of Expert. And finally, if we have the time, we'll look to pick up the quests we need for our next dungeon run in Black Fathom Deeps. So we've got a lot of ground to cover today, so let's get started with those leather pieces. I'm gonna head inside the hut here and just pick up some quick supplies. Kind of need to figure out what we need first. Got a decent amount of medium leather, but these yellow recipes can be pretty tricky, specifically with medium leather. I've had some bad luck in the past with these dark leather boots, but we're going to give it another try, because it is easily the least costly as far as the leather we need to use up. Need the gray dye. Let's pick up 5 of those for now. I don't know how many we're actually going to need. And then we'll pick up 10 fine thread and see where that takes us. The upgrades we're looking for are at 130 and 135 leatherworking respectively. Seem to have a bit better luck with these dark leather boots than we have in the past. Yeah, we've gotten a point each time, so I'm willing to go ahead and try 5 more. We'll see where that takes us. I don't think anything crazy is at 140, but I do know at 145 there are some potential blue recipes we can find in the world that we can craft. But we are getting very close to having to use heavy leather and heavy hides soon enough, so... Alright, we did pretty good there. That's going to be enough to craft both of the things that we actually need. Let's go ahead and sell these dark leather boots. We're not going to need them. And then from here, let's go ahead and talk to our artisan leather worker.
Greetings.
So this is exactly what we need. The Hillman's shoulders and the toughened leather gloves. Our first blue recipe. Now we're going to quickly open up the profession window again, because I think that the cure medium hides we're going to have here. We're going to cure these right now. We've got 7. So that should be easy. The toughened leather gloves require some other ingredients, including elixirs of defense and spider silk. Let's go see if we have any spider silk in the bank. We're definitely going to have to buy the elixirs. I really do hope we held on to at least one, because the spider silk can be pretty expensive. This isn't the only blue recipe that it's used in, so a lot of players do want it on their leveling journey.
Hail.
Unfortunately, no spider silk. So we're going to have to spend a little bit more than originally anticipated. But at the same time, I didn't have to buy extra medium leather this time around. I might have to at some point once we start picking up heavy leather. And we don't have enough skill points to really reach the recipes that we want to craft with it. So we might want to buy some medium leather at some point, just to get a few extra skill ups. So let's look for what we need. I don't think we need the iron web spider silk. I don't think that's going to be necessary. Yeah, it's just regular spider's silk. 50 silver apiece, that is super rough, unfortunately. But I think it's worth it. It's actually far more than that too, since we're gonna have to buy these other stacks. Yeah, it's a gold and a half right there. That hurts. Luckily, the elixirs of defense are pretty cheap. You can buy one of these stacks of 2 here. That'll work just fine. That should be all we need. Let's see if we can get to at least 140 and see if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything at 140, but we'll see if we can get there.
Just the thing for you.
We're going to need fine thread, and we're going to need lots of salt. Let's go ahead and cure those in medium hides first. Take care of that real quick. I don't think there's any reason to leave them uncured. I think we should just cure them all, even if we're not going to use everything right now. But we might. Using up hides, whether it be a light hide, medium hide, etc., it's a good way to get some extra skill ups, because you're not going to need them after a certain point. They usually go for pretty cheap on the auction house anyway if you actually needed to use them and you just didn't happen to have any. And they're good for skill ups because they often end up utilizing recipes. Let's see if I can find a good example. I think like the dark leather belt. One of these is really good for this. So there are some recipes that use significantly less leather, but they use up a hide, and that can actually be pretty handy. Even like these Fletcher's gloves, for example, they don't use the hides, but they use less amount of leather, but just an additional ingredient. And sometimes that's just better than having, forcing yourself to make something that might cost like 10 or 12 medium leather. Instead, it can be kind of a pain. Let's just buy a decent amount of fine thread because we might try to use it beyond just these pieces here. Let's make the shoulders an extra 5 stam 4 spirit. And then these blue gloves, which in comparison is going to be quite the difference from our gloves of the Fang. It's time to abandon the purple pieces that we have collected. The Hillman's shoulders is actually a perfect example of what I was just talking about. So only requires 4 medium leather, but you have to use the hides. That's fine because the leather is, like I said, the hides are pretty cheap. The leather is actually harder to come by. For the amount that you actually need in order to make these recipes. So I might actually use these points on just more Hillman's shoulders. And that way we can actually post these on the auction house too. The Hillman shoulders often end up being, every leather wearer's first pair of shoulders. So yeah, let's go ahead and make 4 of these. Make a little extra money off of them. And then we'll definitely have 140 from there, which will be great. And then we'll identify if we can make craft any other pieces with just whatever leather we have remaining. We're going to have some. And if we're really lucky, we can get to 145, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, from here we're going to fly over to Camp T, Camp Tarajo in the Southern Barrens. And we're going to make our way over to Brackenwall Village first, so that we can pick up the first aid book. Then we've got a flight over to Sunrock Retreat. We're going to head through the Charred Vale, all the way through Desolus into Shadowprey Village. That one's going to be a much longer hike. And while we are on that hike, we're going to try to do some grinding, get these last couple of bars done, and hit level 26. So let's take a look at what other pieces we could make. It's actually not a lot without buying some extra ingredients. I don't think we have boots that are going to be better than what we have now. Yeah, I don't believe so. So we can try our luck with the dark leather cloak. That's probably going to be the next best thing. Let's pick up some gray dye. And we'll give this a try. $144, so close. Technically, we can craft one more pair of dark leather boots. It's green now. Let's see if we get lucky. We do not. That is okay. Alright, so we're going to get rid of all of this. We don't need any of this.
Goodbye.
Let's equip our new pieces. Going from purple to like a bronze color. It looks pretty cool. And we're finally getting rid of our gray shoulders. For some much sturdier looking pieces, for sure.
Looking for something special?
Let's get these shoulders posted, and then we'll head over to Camp T. Should be all stocked up and ready to go. Haven't called out our pet in quite a while, it feels like. Taking lots of flight paths. We had a whole fishing episode in the last one. We haven't seen Screech in a little bit.
Friend.
Something else I need to figure out as well is where we can get expert fishing. Fishing, I'm definitely the least familiar with as far as professions are concerned. I actually don't know where you would get it. I'm actually going to take a look at that now while we fly over to Camp T. And then as far as the Black Fathom Deeps quests are concerned, I'm pretty sure every single one that you need is either inside the instance already, or it's going to be at Zoramgar Outpost. So luckily we don't have to jump all over the place in order to get what we need for that dungeon. Alright. Hello, buddy. Welcome back. Thank you for the buffs. And now let's head down the Southern Gold Road. Yep, so after looking at it real quick, it looks like expert fishing is also learned with a book, which I should not be surprised about. Looks like our vendor is going to be in Booty Bay. It's also going to cost 1 gold. So unfortunately, we're about to go down to about 2 to 3 gold in this episode. So each book is going to cost us a gold. Every time I feel like we get close to stabilizing our funds, we always seem to go back down. And we're not even buying too much off the auction house either. It's not like we're going too crazy. Some of these enemies are probably green to us. I could take them out for some experience, but I think I'm just going to wait until the Charred Vale. Everything in the Charred Vale is going to be right around our level, so it should be pretty quick to get those last couple of bars. Lots of stuff getting in our way anyway, so I suppose we're taking care of some of that grind now. Honestly, might want to reconsider that grind anyway, because at least these enemies can be skinned. I know some of the enemies in the Charred Vale in Stone Talon can be skinned as well, but not all of them. There's a lot of harpies that kind of make up the bulk. Whereas here in the Barrens, these guys are actually closer to our level than I thought. Charred Vale is also a little bit more dense though. So it's harder to carve a path without running into something. But we'll see what we can do. We might as well just take on what we can here, since these guys are a lot closer to our level than I thought. Looks like we are approaching Deathswallow now. It's going to be a while before we return to this place. In any case, welcome to the marsh. Let's keep our UI open. Keep an eye out for any crocolisks that will attack us along the way. I'm sure there's going to be something. Looks like we have a nice clear path today. Wonder how many players are in the marsh. Certainly not a lot for our level range. Did we overshoot? Oh yeah, we did. Okay, it's right over here. Almost went to the wrong spot. And there we go. That's what we were looking for. Mr. Vicejaw. We'll go ahead and let Screech deal with that for a second. Maybe we can run far enough out of range that we can save him. Okay, he just despawned. Let's get our buddy back. Don't think we have aggro anymore. We'll get you some food. We'll get this flight path. I suppose we'll check out the vendors too while we're here. More than just the one that we need for the book. Maybe there are others that could provide us with some cool recipes.
Go.
So far I'm not seeing too many others. Heavy crocolisk stew. 8 stam and spirit is quite a lot. Something that we can use the tender crocolisk meat for, which we have seen before, I think. And we can just learn it right now, so we might as well pick it up. Dragon breath chili is definitely something we're going to need when we hit 200, I think. It's a really cool one. Carrying surprise is also pretty good because I think mystery meat is pretty common. Raptor roast, I think we can get that from Arathi Highlands too, so I'm not like super in a rush to pick that one up. Happy to learn this one. You are the person we need. Expert first aid under wraps, 90 silver. And you do not have anything else for us, but that is okay. We got what we came for. I believe that we still pick up the first iteration of silk bandages at 150 from our normal first aid trainer.
Won't be shy.
But it's good that I caught this. We need to learn the heavy silk bandage and the mage weave bandage from these books as well. I don't know if I want to buy both of them because it's going to be quite a while, but I do feel like we might want to buy the heavy silk one.
Spirits
I don't know,
with
it's
you.
tough. I suppose we can always just come back. We have the flight path, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'd like to save ourselves just a little bit of time. Actually, since we have to go to Booty Bay anyway, why don't we go ahead and fly to Ratchet? fly to Ratchet, we'll take the boat. We'll pick up Expert Fishing, and then we can hearth back to the crossroads, and then fly to Sudden Rock Retreat so we can make our trip through Desolus. That sounds like a plan. Should be arriving momentarily. Boat might take a couple more minutes. Here we are. Seems pretty busy today on the Merchant Coast, and the boat is actually here. Hopefully we can make it. Perfect. Very good timing. we have entered Booty Bay for the first time. Gonna have to make sure we pick up this flight path as well. Sounds like we've got quite the storm coming in. It's okay, we won't be here for too long, so shouldn't be too much of a bother. Let's find our vendor first. I think he might be within one of the shops here. One of these on the lower docks. Let's see. Looking for Old Man Hemming. Yeah, this looks like the place.
King's honor, friend.
Hello there, good sir. I will take that lovely book from you.
Be careful.
Let's go ahead and pick that up. And we're going to be at the expert level with all of our professions once we pick up the final book. That's going to feel good. Perfect. Let's grab that flight path real quick. Think. Not through this way. Yeah, there we go. This should take us to where we need to go.
Speak, friend. May your blades never
Let's use that
dull.
Hearthstone and get back to Kalimdor. Sunrock Retreat. I've only got about 120 sharp arrows left, and that will be it for the sharp arrows. I'm going to start actually using our razor arrows very soon. Excited to see how much of a difference it should make. Adds about double the DPS that the sharp arrows add, so expecting the results to be pretty dramatic. Wish there was more traversable land within the mountains. I think it would have been really cool if we were able to go inside the mountain or something. I know they retooled it quite a bit in the Cataclysm, utilizing some of these higher peaks and valleys and whatnot, which I thought was really cool. I think they could do something similar in a Classic Plus experience at a later date. I think it would be really cool. Another zone that could use some sort of dungeon. Maybe a Grim Totem themed or something like that. Or even Venture Company themed, for that matter. Alright, we're here at the Sunrock Retreat. I think let me take a look at our quest log, see how full it is. We're at 8, so I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and pick up Harpy's Threaten. We're not going to complete it, but this doesn't involve any like quest items being held in our inventory or anything like that. It's just a kill quest.
We shall meet.
Because we're probably going to end up killing at least a few as we fill out the last bit of this last bar of experience. Let's get Screech back out here. We're going to take the secret trail. This trail is amazing. I feel bad for the Alliance side. You guys have to travel all the way up to the peak for basically no reason other than to one day have to take it to ride all the way down into Desolace to your flight point. It's like Horde don't even have to go all the way around here through Merkfallen Lake and whatnot and then back down, but we actually have this nice little handy shortcut. It leads straight into the Charred Vale. With torches to guide us and everything. We're going to try to avoid all the enemies we can until we get towards the entrance to Desolace. We're not going to need too many kills, I don't think. Let's try to avoid what we can. Seven. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Do see some dead bodies though, so that's actually a pretty good sign that there's been a player here that's clearing out path for us of sorts. And get some free skins too. Man, I can't believe at level 27, 28 corpses we're still picking up light leather. I feel like at that level you have a chance at heavy leather. Let alone guaranteeing, 2 medium leather, I would think. From enemies of this range. Looks like everybody here is fighting for enemies. Alright, so we're going to hang back a little bit. We are pretty close to the entrance of Desolace, but we're going to hang back and get the rest of the finish off the rest of level 25. That we just hit level 26. And it's going to be another point into mortal shots. Pretty easy selection there. I think we're going to definitely have some more choice though after we get to the next tier. I'm not sure where to go from there. I suppose we have to pick up Barrage no matter what if we want True Shot Aura. So that might end up being the next logical talent pick. And we'll be sure to head back to Thunder Bluff. Probably after we pick up the Flight Path and Shadow Prey. Hello Rexar, nice to see you. I'm sure the Alliance do not appreciate you standing right here in the middle of the path. And alright, Desolate should be pretty, might be pretty difficult to traverse. Shadow Prey is a very, very long distance away. And Desolate does not have a straight, clear path that leads through the entire zone. We're gonna have to dodge some stuff, I think. Honestly, there's a chance it might be worth just to actually take a death and a spirit res, just to get us to just to get us a little bit closer. I think the graveyard is right in the middle of the zone, if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, let's give it a try. Alright, Snapper. You worst. Your Basilisk, I'll get you too. I used to do this kind of stuff all the time, especially in like Duratar with Senjin Village, because you could. It was before that you started, especially at that level. You don't get the Resurrection Sickness tax, or it's like 1 minute maybe, and you can teleport from the Echo Isles directly back to Senjin Village after you're done with your quest. Oh yeah, that's huge. Look at that distance. I am okay with this. We don't need to do any more fighting for the rest of the episode. I'm not going to bother summoning up Screech right now. Well, actually, I suppose we might actually need to sacrifice him potentially in order to get to where we need to be potentially if we run into some stuff. So we'll keep him around. I wonder, does your pet get res sickness, or does your pet... Because in vanilla, your pet doesn't scale off of your gear. So I guess that your pet is still, as a BM hunter especially, your pet is still like fully enabled. And doing most of your damage anyway. I think I never come this way. Let's start heading this way. We'll start heading into the hills. I do see some green. That is good. Grab this, see if I can freeze this swoop. Should be able to outrun the Scorpid. Yeah, these hills right here is a sign that we're close. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember that pathing for later, because if you come down here, you know, because I know like the road, for example, leads in this direction past the Kodo graveyard. It's really the only way that you can actually stick to a road, but unfortunately the road leads you through an army of demons. And the road is not very safe going through that coven. Give a quick wave to the path over here to Marodon. We'll see that dungeon in about 20 levels. It's nice that the village is so close, though. Not much of a road trip, I suppose. It was pretty easy to get here. We're gonna let Screech take that. Hopefully he despawns before he dies. Looks like it might have been just in time. And we've made it. We are here in Shadowprey. Let's take a look at the vendors. Oh, we actually got some heavy leather at some point. I didn't actually realize. And heavy leather is really cheap right now.
What you looking for?
Nothing from the axe crafter. It's not who we're looking for. Where is the cook? In here, maybe closer to the docks. Got a skating trainer. It's good to know, I suppose. Nothing up here, though. Trade supplies. You must be the one.
What you looking for?
Perhaps not. You don't have any recipes either. That's unfortunate. Maybe you're just not, don't have them in stock just yet.
To me. How are you?
I know you're here somewhere. We'll come back to the docks in a second. Alex, we're gonna have to take that flight path. Oh, where are you? Cooking supplies vendor. You appear to be missing.
Relax.
Stepping out the general goods vendor. Interesting. Must have walked right past them. There we go. Cooking supplies. Expert cookbook. Don't need the sagefish. Oh, you've got some... Yeah, you've got some good stuff here. Okay. Sagefish Delight. Mithril Head Trout. Rock Scale Cod. Okay. So these are going to be the next cooking recipes that we're going to need. Once we start fishing in... Well, really, we can actually start fishing here in Shadowprey. We've got this fishing skill for it. Especially with the bobbers that we have at our disposal. So we might have to pick up some of those recipes. Once the time comes. Awesome. Made lots of progress today with all this stuff. We even got a level, which is nice. We didn't do too much combat at all. We haven't... But you gotta take a break sometimes if you're willing to spend the time to level up your professions during the leveling journey as opposed to waiting until max level. So now that we've got all of that, let's grab the flight path and let's head over to Thunder Bluff so we can pick up our new abilities.
What brings you here?
That's probably where we're gonna stop. Yeah, I'll just pick up the BFD quests in between episodes. They're all at Zormgar Outpost and within the dungeon itself, so not missing anything there. And then, yeah, in the next episode, we're going to put together a group for Black Fathom Deeps. I think level 26 is perfect. Should be able to take on anything inside. And while we're on the flight path back, why don't we go ahead and open up AtlasLoot. So after BFD, oh man, Nomergon. I don't think we're going to be ready for that for a while. Razorfang Crawl and Scarlet Monastery Graveyard are probably going to be the next two that we're going to target. I should be excited about Crawl, I hope. I'm hoping that there's going to be stuff in here for us. Because a lot of the dungeons so far, like ever since Wailing Caverns, there's not a lot that really like gives us anything to really get excited about. There's a polearm here with 11 agility. That would be incredible. Yeah, surprisingly not a lot. There is a bow in here. It's a very fast bow. It's not preferred, but we'll take it. Yeah, surprisingly not a lot. And Black Fathom Deeps I don't think is any different. These gloves are not that great. The bow is slightly better than what we have now, I suppose. It's another fast bow. Yeah, honestly, you know what? Leatherworkers have it pretty rough when you really think about it from the dungeon loot perspective. There's nothing in here. I suppose that's why skinning and leatherworking is probably like the easiest profession combination to actually level up. So like maybe that, had something to do with it as far as the balancing aspect goes. Yeah, I feel like the loot always leans so heavily into melee classes and caster classes specifically. I feel even worse for the niche specs like Elemental Shaman or Boomkin Druid, because I mean there's so few pieces of leather that even have agility on them, let alone intellect. Imagine if you want to go balance a resto, you've got to pick up a bunch of cloth. Which I'm sure other casters aren't too happy about. We'll summon our pet real quick just in case. We can pick up new stuff for him. Although we picked up stuff at level 24, so I'm not confident that our pet's gonna have anything new to learn at this level.
Greetings.
Yeah, nothing until level 30. Wow, well, I wasn't expecting that necessarily, but that's good to know. There's gonna be a lot of stuff you can learn then. So let's check our trainer out now. We know we're getting a big fat cooldown in rapid fire.
What brings
But
you
what
here?
else are we getting here? Now that we're down to 2 gold, I am not interested in picking up anything that we don't absolutely need right now. Definitely need rapid fire, and we'll take another rank of Serpent Sting as well. That seems pretty obvious. Another rank of Raptor Strike or Immolation Trap. I mean, we don't use Immolation Trap for anything. I don't know if we should start. It's a considerable amount of damage. But considering we're down to 1 gold, I don't think I could justify spending another 70 silver on either one of these right now.
May the
So I
eternal
think we're going to
sun
have to just leave it
shine
there.
upon thee.
But the new rank of Serpent Sting is nice. And our offensive cooldown, 5-minute cooldown. It's crazy. 100 mana is also a lot. But 15 seconds of 40% increased attack speed is pretty sweet. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for me for today. I appreciate you guys making it this far. I appreciate you sticking around for all the travel, all the fishing, all the non-combat related activities we've had in the past couple of episodes. In the next one, we're going to take on BFD. So I'll pick up the quest in between episodes, and I will see you guys in Ashenvale. As always, I appreciate you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.